If you're going to do something, if you're not really willing to go to dark places that within the human psyche to get there, you don't really want to go. Listen, let's take for instance, if Deontay Wilder would have hit me with that right hand left hook in the 12th round, I'd have stayed on the floor. But Tyson Fury had something else. And that's what makes them special. That's what makes them heroes, archetypes, warriors, people to look up to, because they do things that normal human beings wouldn't. My name's Vinny Shoreman. I'm a mind coach stroke hypnotherapist.
There's a guy, Vinny Shoreman. He's worked with a lot of fighters.
A guy called Vinny Shoreman.
Speaking to Vinny Shoreman a lot.
Shout out to Vinny Shoreman.
Resilience is a built-up thing. Is something where you work on it all the time. Cold showers, plunge pools, running that extra bit. You've got to be willing to go that extra bit, and resilience is built up over time. It's built up slowly, but it's surely. It's a mindset that you galvanise yourself against problems that life will throw at you. So it's a steady process, but it's being willing to do what other people won't do, and giving yourself that belief system that this is what I want to do, and that's what I've got to do to get there. So that's resilience. They build resilience through arduous training, through arduous times in the gym where you don't want to spar with a certain person because they worry you. You go and you keep putting yourself in hot water all the time, or cold water if you're Wim Hof. But you keep pushing the boundaries. Are you born with it? Maybe. But resilience is just something that you have to keep on working at and working at. You have got to go through what you don't like doing. We have to go through them. If you want, it's never going to be always perfect. There is no such thing as perfection anyway. It's never going to be a perfect day. It's never going to be a perfect time. There is no rhyme or reason. If you want it, you have to do what the people won't. And part of being a champion is getting hurt. Pain is a very, very good teacher. But also, pain is a measuring stick to tell you what's available and what's not. And if people give in to pain and they quit, right? So. You have to find out, and that's the thing. You'll never know until you find out, and that's what you got to do. We'll use Liam as an example. Liam story where Liam was training at Jitty's gym, and he was training with Rajasak, who was a notoriously real tough trainer. They were all training, they were all eating while Liam had to train, and one solitary tear came down Liam's face. He'd had that much enough of what he was doing. But those galvanise you to get yourself where you want to get to. It's all about, we have to do what we don't want to do. Everyone who is a success has come from somewhere where they could have quit. That's the difference. If you want it enough, you have to go where you don't want to go to. You need that story, don't you? You need the narrative. We all need narratives to live by. So if Tyson Fury would have imagined himself with that WBC belt, heavyweight champion of the world. That's what I want to be. And affirmations, which do repair certain parts of the brain. But also it's convincing yourself that this is what you're doing. Once you immerse yourself, Conor McGregor said, didn't he? Said, I'm not talented, I'm just obsessed. Fantastic quote. Yeah? That if you're obsessed enough, if you want it with everything that you desire, you're going to get it, or you're going to get near it. But you know what? Why not shoot for the moon? And if you hit the stars, you've done all right, haven't you? But it's about if you're going to plan something, it's not about in 10 years time. 10 years time starts now, because if you're not doing the groundwork now, how do you expect to be where you want to be in 5 years time?
How do people make peace with losing?
It's part of life. Losing's a part of life. We can't win everything. We can't. Losing's part of life. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose loved ones. You're going to lose family members, friends, dogs. Your own life eventually. It's part of life. If you lose, yeah, but then you use that determination to put you back up to where you should be. Dealing with loss is part of life, and if you can't deal with losing, don't take part. You learn more about yourself from losing. That's why you learn in dark places. You learn from pain. You learn from worry. You learn from stress. You learn from getting your heart broken. You learn from that. Everybody does. You know, eventually you do stop crying, eventually you do stand up, eventually you do meet somebody else, eventually you do get over your granddad passing away, your grandma, your parents and all that sort of stuff. Look, grief's a terrible thing. Depends on the level of it, yeah? And so with children and stuff like that, I don't know, I can't comprehend that. But what I'm saying is, eventually, you're going to lose something. It's part of life. You have to have people to look up to aspire to get to want to be like, to have that passion to do this job. My inspiration for doing this was when Nigel Benn fought Gerald McClellan. I met Nigel Benn, there's a picture over there of Nigel Benn. And after he fought, he said, "I'd like to thank Paul McKenna for hypnotising me and helping me believe in myself." There's been inspiration for everyone, and you know, you have to have someone to look up to be like. So find your idol and do what your idol did. I remember being just training, and it's about 5:30 in the morning, so I go to Derby Lane in Liverpool, go boxing there. I hit the bags, I don't spar or anything like that. And I looked and I said, "Oh, I don't want to go. It's tired, it was raining." And I said, "Would Andre Ward go?" Of course he would. So that's what you find. You ask yourself, what would Andre Ward do? What would Liam do? What would Sanchez do? You've got to, what you'll find if you look at somebody and ask yourself what they do, they'd go. And that's the difference. That's when you can find it, is you find someone to look up to aspire to be like. Whether you'll get there is probably very difficult. However, we've all got to have something to look up to. That's why we have them. That's why we have superheroes. Archetypes, that's what they're called. You have to know that it all's going to end. None of us are permanent. We all like living, yeah? At least you should do. And I hope if you're watching this and you're not enjoying living, find something to live for, because there is reasons, yeah? But motivation is down to what you really want. What do you want? See, people don't get it. What do you want? Well, I don't want to be. No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, if you want to be whatever you want to be, focus on what you want. What do you want? I don't want to be. I don't want this. Well, right, good. What's the opposite of what? So you talk about what you don't want. What's the opposite of that? Well, I'd like to be happy, and well, what would it feel like? Oh, it'd feel amazing. It changes like that. It states. To change your state for motivation, you've got to think about what you really want. Find it. Push yourself. And if you don't want to be a millionaire, you don't want to be this, something that, all I can say is this. It doesn't matter about motivation, just be a decent person. Because people need people. Fact. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be another challenge. There's always going to be something. Life is never going to be so, oh, I've got there now and la 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 la, and skip off into the sunset. It's not. It's always going to be, plane's going to be delayed. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you forgot something, your tyre goes down. If you can't cope with things that in life like that, then you're not going to be very happy anyway, because you're giving up on everything. Find what you love and just keep hold of it, you know? Keep hold of it. It's when you feel happy, when you feel that happiness. I change people's lives. Like, and I've never said this, I've saved lots of lives, and I mean genuinely saved them, yeah? Through people that will admit that they weren't going to be here. That is a little bit beyond a normal job. It's a thing. Finding something like that gets you up in the morning, that you really want to do. That's what you got to do. You don't take no for answers. People say to me, "Oh, you worked hard." I didn't work hard. I didn't. I took risks. I did stuff that other people wouldn't do. I took risks where other people wouldn't. That's the difference. Find it and just keep hold of it. Because you know, when you look back, you've got to say, well, at least I did what I wanted to do. Because otherwise, you give me sat and going, "Can I have another go?" And God will go, or whoever made you will go, "Nah, sorry." So, that's what I think.